So let's talk a little bit about what you are seeing. I mean, you've got some businesses that are front and center with the biggest problems of the pandemic, with things shutting down, things like Live Nation. Obviously, sports have had to be really different with the Braves and with Formula One. But then you've got some other companies like QVC that are probably seeing a big increase as people are buying things from home. So why don't you just tell us what your take is, what you're seeing, and how long you think some of these changes will last?
Well, I think you're exactly right, Becky. We really see in our case, and I think in much of the economy, two different tracks. And this two-track economy is seeing certain businesses that tend to be digital, or I'll call it also the SPAC track, where there's a lot of capital being applied, a lot of demand has been accelerated. And you mentioned some of the cases we have. Charter Communications has got record-breaking numbers of new broadband subs and is increasing video subs. We have an Alaskan cable company, GCI, which has the same impact. We have a Sirius XM where car demand and churn are very low. We actually are seeing amazing strength at Sirius. And you noted QVC, and some of its subsidiaries like Cornerstone Brands, which are able to molt and serve a home customer, meet the needs of either safety or staycation orientation, all of those things, and are doing quite well. And then you have the other track where the live events, travel, even sports to a degree because of the lack of in-person fans has been impacted. And so I think the economy, and you see that also in many kinds of smaller businesses, we're lucky that we have enough scale to build liquidity and withstand that long cycle on the second track. But many smaller businesses don't have that liquidity or are challenged. And I think we see real problems, as Brian Moynihan was pointing out earlier in one of your segments.
Hey, Greg, you are not a quarter-to-quarter kind of guy. Your gift is that you are a long-term thinker, and you see changes that are taking place over broad spectrums. And I just wonder how much this pandemic has kind of fast-forwarded some things that were happening before, and how some of these industries are going to be changed forever, in your view.
Well, I think you're maybe being generous in calling us looking long-term, but we try, and we have the benefit of having some track record and a strong shareholder who's willing to ride with us, and that's been beneficial. If you look at the trends out there, clearly you saw growth in broadband. Clearly you saw growth in many of these trends of digital shopping, e-commerce. None of these are new. I think it's also been commonly stated all those trends have been brought in and accelerated. And I think a lot of those are going to be permanent. People are getting very much used to the ease of many of those kind of things. Our demand for bandwidth continues to go up, and I don't think that's going to abate, whether it's because people are doing more at home from a personal perspective, or they're doing it from a business perspective. I think that's going to stay quite high. Other questions about what happens in terms of the longer term around things like going to concerts or travel, we see a lot of pent-up demand. 86% of our customers who have a concert ticket which has been postponed at Live Nation, have kept the ticket and said, I want to go. Only 14% have asked for refunds. That's no higher than we would normally have. So the pandemic hasn't changed that demand. What has changed, obviously, is safety and regulations around our ability to bring people together. So I don't think that part has fundamentally changed. Demand for live events, demand to do personal travel, maybe other changes around business travel, but I think personal travel demand will be high when people feel safe. That doesn't appear to be going away.